Lagos Talks
91.3.
News.
President Muhammadu Buhari has returned to Abuja on Sunday after a successful routine medical checkup in the United Kingdom. While in the UK, President Buhari had on November 10 met with King Charles III at the Buckingham Palace, during which he condoled with the new king on the demise of his mother, Queen Elizabeth II, and to also congratulate him on his confirmation as the new British monarch. President Buhari also received Morocco's ambassador to the UK, Hakim Hadjoui, who came to deliver a personal message from King Mohammed VI of Morocco. The Federal Ministry of Health says scientists are looking into why Lassa fever is endemic in Edo, Ondo, Ebonyi and Bauchi states. Minister of Health Dr. Sage Hanire said this on Sunday when he was featured on Forum, the news agency of Nigeria flagship interview program in Abuja.
Lassa fever is a periodic experience, mostly in the dry season. It seems to have a particular peak in Edo, Ondo, Ebonyi, Bauchi. We don't know exactly why yet, but science is looking at that. But we have learnt a lot in management of Lassa fever. We have set up intensive care units in all of these places. We have got good stock of the medicine that we use to treat it. Ribavirin is what is used, and it is in good stock. The survival rate has increased. But we hope that the vaccine, which is near the phase of testing, what we call clinical trials, and by the time it is fully developed, we can also join in the production. We are going to be participating in the clinical trials, and we can use that also as a good example of pioneering vaccine production.
Hanire explains that the main hospital for the treatment of Lassa fever in the country was the Idwa Specialist Teaching Hospital in Edo State, which would work with a German research group to also refine and produce the vaccine and prepare for the clinical trials. The number of Lassa fever cases in the country has increased to 958 as of October 30, 2022, according to data obtained from the Nigeria Center for Disease Control and Prevention, the NCDC. Adding that it has claimed 176 lives so far this year. Lack of funding to finish the project may have once again been attributed to the delay of the projected restart of Abuja's Metro Rail mass transport services. It should be recalled that in 2018, President Muhammadu Buhari inaugurated the first phase of the Abuja light rail mass transit system, built to transport passengers from its metro station in Wuye district to the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, which worked for a short time after being officially commissioned but has been abandoned for nearly 4 years. However, when the Senate Committee on FCT visited the project site over the weekend, the Deputy Managing Director of a Chinese company handling the project, Jack Liwell, disclosed that in addition to vandalism that has caused a huge setback to the project, unavailability of funds is another challenge.
Those challenges that actually are required now to ensure that you commence this operation. And I stated it clearly that one of it is the vandalized item, which by the grace of God, once we get the backing of the of fund, we'll get out of that. And then of course we have already engaged the security outfit that are already entertaining fear of vandalization any longer. In a very simple form, we want to be very careful as to identifying the time to commence this operation. But by the grace of God, what we want to ensure is that once we're able to achieve the fund, by the grace of God, the commencement will be very soon.
While reacting to the development, Chairman of the Senate Committee, Senator Smart Adeyemi, who led other members to the site, decried the continued waste of public funds by abandoning such people-oriented projects, but assured that the Senate would make frantic efforts to ensure the rail services commence within the remaining few months of this present administration.
We are fully aware of the counterpart funding, I think 9 billion and 71 billion or thereabouts. So I'm here to see what you have done with it, how much you have assessed. Then on Tuesday, you will come to National Assembly, you come and defend what you have collected, what you have purchased. Let us see what you have done, not just show me the coaches and that's the end. I want to see how you have expended the budgetary provision for you. The 71 billion, the counterpart funding you collected for last year, now we have another budget before us. So we want to see how it has as we expected. This month, the National Assembly will be taking a decision that they have never taken before. We are passing budget of FCT totaling 1.1 trillion. So I want to be convinced to see everything that you have done with the money and what you want to do with the one you're asking us to approve.
Similarly, Senator Adeyemi also lamented the activities of vandals who reportedly removed some of the newly installed solar panels in the FCT. The senator, who represents the Kogi West constituency, made the comments while conducting an inspection of some of the ongoing projects within the city as part of the committee's oversight function during the weekend in Abuja.
Something that all of us should be happy about, because security is everybody's business, and what the FCT is doing is to secure life and properties of people. So I commend the minister for this initiative. I know that more of it will still come. But again, effort must be put in place to see how we can secure this this polar light, because it beautifies the city and properties of people when they move. I think we should encourage it. It's not just for us to look at putting street lights on the highways or where the left privilege reside, or areas that are prone to attack to criminal activity, even within the city.
The Oil Marketers Association of Nigeria has urged the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency NIMASA and the Nigerian Ports Authority NPA to obey federal government's directive on Naira transactions for port charges. Mahmoud Takov, Vice Chairman to Depots and Petroleum Products Marketers Association of Nigeria, DAPMAN, who made the call in a statement on Sunday, alleged that the agencies were yet to comply with federal government directives that port charges should be collected in Naira and continued to collect charges in dollars. The statement also quoted the DAPMAN chairman, Winifred Akmani, as saying that forex problem was affecting petroleum marketers, noting that to charter a vessel that could convey 20,000 metric tons of PMS within Nigeria for 10 days, freight charges are being denominated in dollars, which comes to about 220 million naira at official forex rate of 440 naira, and a whopping 440 million naira for petroleum marketers who have to source forex in a parallel market at 880 naira. He says this also implies an additional cost of 11 naira per litre for the transaction due to the forex official and parallel market differential before jetty fees, again charged in dollars, are added at 15.4 million naira at official forex rate and 30.8 million naira at parallel market rate, then port dues at 71.51 million naira and 142.796 million naira, all of which are quite burdensome as operational expenses and procurement for its members. Delta State government on Sunday berated social media reports claiming that the Stephen Keshi Stadium in Asaba was gutted by fire. The State Commissioner for Information, Charles Anyagu, who addressed newsmen at the venue of the incident, said the alleged fire was blown out of proportion by the social media, as it did not affect the stadium complex but some condemned roofing sheets that were removed from the building. He said that the fire was not caused by any electrical connection or picture of any presidential candidate as mischievously reported by the man who recorded the video in circulation, but by the drop from the welder's electrode which fell on the condemned roofing sheets on the ground. He, however, cautioned that social media was supposed to be a means of adding value to the information value chain and warned against using it to score some cheap political points. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, began the display of preliminary voters' register across the 245 wards in Lagos State on Saturday for claims and objections. Its Lagos State Public Affairs Officer, Adenike Oriwo, who said the exercise was in line with the electoral law, added that INEC officials would be available in each of the wards between 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. daily from November 12 to November 25 to take records. She said the display would hold at the wards from November 12 to November 18 and continue at INEC local government offices from November 19 to November 25. Oriwo said the display of the register was part of efforts to further clean up the document ahead of the 2023 elections and urged the public to help INEC identify names of dead people still on the register, as well as names of underage people or foreigners and others who were not eligible to be on the register. She, however, stressed that every claim and objection must be backed with authentic proofs. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, Governor of Lagos State, on Sunday presented the scorecard of his administration's efforts towards showcasing the business-friendly environment and investment opportunities available in the state. Sanwo-Olu, represented by Mrs. Folashade Jaji, Secretary to the State Government, made this known at the closing ceremony of the 36th edition of the Lagos International Trade Fair, LITF, in Lagos. The governor said that his tenure had done a lot to improve business environment through the implementation of business-friendly policies to improve the ease of doing business, increase incentives, and the state government's commitment to infrastructural development and renewal. Sanwo-Olu said construction works were ongoing in all parts of the state, and as part of its scorecard, the Lekki Deep Seaport had been completed and commissioned to commence operation in 2023. He added that Lagos has provided land space for investors at Lekki Free Zone with 16,500 hectares, with the same at Ikorodu, Badagry, Ibeju-Lekki, and other places for development. You're still listening to the World News. Moving on to the foreign scene. Uganda's President Yoweri Museveni has accused Western countries of reprehensible double standards when it comes to commitments to stop climate change. In his post on social media, Museveni highlighted the partial dismantling of a wind farm in Germany to make way for the expansion of a coal mine. He said the move made a mockery of Western commitments towards climate targets. Due to the global energy crisis, some European countries have recently decided to increase coal production, a move heavily criticized by climate change activists. The Ugandan leader also said European countries were happy to take Africa's resources for their own energy needs, but were against the development of fossil fuel projects which were for the benefit of Africans. British Chancellor Jeremy Hunt says everyone in the UK will have to pay more tax under plans due to be announced on Thursday this week. Hunt was speaking to the BBC just days before he is due to deliver his tax and spending plans in Parliament as part of the autumn statement. He confirmed he would be giving details about further help for those struggling with energy bills, but warned there had to be constraints on help. The BBC has been told the Chancellor is set to announce spending cuts of about £35 billion and plans to raise £20 billion in tax. It comes as the UK faces major economic challenges with soaring living costs and a warning from the Bank of England that the country is facing its longest recession since records began. And now to business news. The Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, has restated its commitment to protect interests of millions of unbacked and underserved Nigerians who mostly reside in the rural areas. The Apex Bank made this known on Sunday in a statement by its Director Corporate Communications, Osita Nwansobi, against the backdrop of the planned redesign of certain denominations of the Naira. Nwansobi expressed satisfaction at the positive response of the banking public to the plan, while noting that the CBN remains committed to its seamless implementation so as to preserve the integrity of the Naira by reducing the volume of cash outside the banking system. Nwansobi said that the CBN was taking steps to ensure that vulnerable Nigerians do not suffer untoward hardship due to the Naira redesign initiative. Finally, to sport news, Bayelsa Queens finished the CAF Women's Champions League with a 1-0 win over Simba Queens in the third-place match on Saturday. In the match played at the Stade Moulay Hassan in Rabat, a second-half strike from Juliet Sunday was all the Yenagoa-based side required to beat their East African opponents and claim their golden bronze. Meanwhile, goalkeeper Bawu Gabriel won her second Woman of the Match accolade in the tournament. This followed her brilliant goalkeeping to ensure Bayelsa Queens celebrate winning the bronze medals in their maiden appearance. The English Premier League continued at the weekend in match day 16 with Arsenal opening a 5-point gap at the top of the table after a 2-0 win over Wolverhampton Wanderers. Manchester City lost to Brentford 2-1, Liverpool beat Southampton 3-1, Bournemouth beat Everton 3-0 and Manchester United beat Fulham 2-1. Other results saw Newcastle beat Chelsea 1-0, Crystal Palace lost 1-0 to Nottingham Forest, Tottenham defeated Leeds 4-3, Brighton lost to Aston Villa 2-1, and West Ham lost to Leicester City by 2-0.
Lagos Talks
91.3.